The string of my chaprai needs tightening. The dip in the middle of the bed is so pronounced that invariably I wake up in the morning with a backache. But I am hopeless at tightening chaprai strings and will have to wait until one of the boys from the tea shop pays me a visit. Under the chaprai is my teen trunk. Its contents range from old, rejected manuscripts to photographs, clothes, newspaper cuttings, and all that goes with the floating existence of an itinerant bachelor. I don't live entirely alone. Sometimes a beggar, if he is not diseased, spends the night on the balcony. During cold or rainy weather, the boys from the tea shop, who normally sleep on the pavement, crowds into my room. But apart from them, there are the lizards on the walls, friends, these, and a large rat who gets in and out of the window and carries away manuscripts and clothing. Definitely an enemy. June nights are the most uncomfortable of all. Mosquitoes emerge from all the ditches and gullies and ponds and take over control of Peoplenagar. Bugs, finding it uncomfortable inside the woodwork of the chaprai, scramble out at night and find their way under my sheet. I wrap myself up in the sheet like a corpse, but the mosquitoes bite through the thin material and the bugs get in at the tears and holes. The lizards wander listlessly over the walls, impatient for the monsoon rains, when they will be able to feast off thousands of insects. Everyone is waiting for the cool, quenching relief of the monsoon. But 2 months from now, when roofs have fallen in, the road is flooded and the drinking water contaminated, we will be cursing the monsoon and praying for its speedy retreat. To wake in the morning in summer is not difficult, as sleep is fitful, uneasy, crowded with dreams and fantasies. I know it is 5 o'clock when I hear the first bus coming out of the shed. If I am to defecate in private, I must be up and away into the fields beyond the railway tracks. The public lavatory near the station hasn't been cleaned for over a week. Afterwards, I return to the balcony and, slipping out of my vest and pajamas, rub down my body with mustard oil. If the boy from the tea shop is awake, I get him to massage me, while I lie flat on my back or on my belly, dreaming of things less mundane than life in Peoplenagar. I dream of Delhi, only 200 miles away. There's so much happening there. 5-year plans, so the paper says, and plans for big dams, airports, new industries, and a grand new city coming up in Chandigarh. I see all this in the newsreels at our local cinema, along with pictures of smiling Mr. Nehru laying foundation stones for his new temples of India, and pictures of him playing with his grandchildren, waving to adoring crowds, or walking in his rose garden. Oh, for a rose garden in Peoplenagar, it might inspire me to write my own Gulistan. As the passengers alight from the first bus of the day into Peoplenagar, I sit in the barber shop and talk to Deepchand, while he lathers my face with soap. The knife moves cleanly across my cheeks and throat, and Deepchand's breath, smelling of cloves and cardamoms, he is a perpetual eater of pan, plays on my face. In the next chair, the sweetmeat seller is having the hair shaved from under his great flappy armpits. He is looked after by Deepchand's younger brother, Ramu, who is deputed to attend the less popular customers. Ramu flashes a smile at me when I enter the shop. We have had a couple of nocturnal excursions together. Deepchand is a short, thick-set man, very compact, dark, and smooth-skinned from his waist upwards. Below his waist, from his hips to his ankles, he is a mass of soft black hair. An extremely virile man, he is very attractive to women. Deep Chand and Ramu know all there is to know about me. In fact, all there is to know about People Nagar. When are you going to get married, brother? Deep Chand asked me recently. Oh, after 5 or 10 years. I replied. You are 25 now, he said. This is the time to marry. Once you are 30, it will not be easy to find a wife. In People Nagar, when you are 30, you are old. I feel too old already. I said, don't talk to me of marriage, but give me a massage. My brain is not functioning well these days. In my latest book, I have killed 3 people in 1 chapter and still it is dull. Well, finish it soon, said Deep Chand, beginning the ritual of the head massage. Then you can clear your debts. When you have paid your debts, you will leave People Nagar. Won't you? I could not answer because he had started thumping my skull with his hard, communicative fingers, tugging at the roots of my hair and squeezing my temples with the palms of his hands. No one gave a better massage than Deep Chand. Had his income been greater, he could have shifted his trade to another locality and made a decent living. Here in our mahalla, his principal customers were shopkeepers, truck drivers, laborers from the railway station. He charged only 2 rupees for a haircut. In other places, it was 3 rupees. While Deep Chand ran his fingers through my hair, exerting a gentle pressure on my temples, I made a mental inventory of all the people who owed me money and to whom I was in debt. The amounts I had loaned out to various bazaar acquaintances were small compared to the amounts I owed others. There was my landlord, Seth Govindram, who was in fact the landlord of half People Nagar and the proprietor of the dancing girls. They did everything but dance, who lived in a dormitory near the bus stop. I owed him 6 months' rent, 60 rupees. He does not bother me just now, but in 6 months' time, he will be after my blood, and I will have to pay up somehow. Seth Govindram possesses a bank, a paunch, and allegedly a mistress. The bank and the paunch are both conspicuous landmarks in People Nagar. Few people have seen his mistress. She is kept hidden away in an enormous Rajput-style house outside the city and continues to be a challenge to my imagination. Seth Govindram is a prominent member of the municipality. Publicly, he is a staunch supporter of the ruling party, but privately, he supports all the parties with occasional contribution towards their funds. He owns, as I have said, most of the buildings in People Nagar Mohalla. And though he is always promising to pull them down and build new ones, he finds it more profitable to leave them as they are. Perhaps someday I really will settle my debts with Seth Govindram. Aziz believes that I will. Aziz visits me occasionally for a loan of 2 or 3 rupees, which he returns in kind whenever I visit his junk shop. He is a Muslim boy of 18. He lives in a small room behind the junk shop. The shop has mud walls and a tin roof. The walls are always in danger of being washed away during the monsoons, and the roof of sailing away during a dust storm. The rain comes in anyway, and the floor is awash most of the time. Bound copies of old English magazines gather mildew, and the pots and pans and spare parts grow rusty. Aziz, at 18, is beginning to collect dust and age and disease. But he is an optimistic soul, even though there is nothing for him to be optimistic about. And he is always asking me when I intend keeping my vow of going to Delhi. to make my fortune. He does not doubt that I will. I am to keep an eye out for a favorable shop site near Chandni Chowk, where he can open a more up-to-date junk shop. He is saving towards this end, but what he saves trickles away in paying for his wife's upkeep at the People Nagar home, where he was forced to send her after his family pronounced her insane. People Nagar has many candidates for the home, but it's a place of last resort. No one ever comes back.